After the epic Race 1 scrap in World Supersport, Race 2 had a lot to live up to, and it didn't disappoint. Chan Oncu grabbing the whole shot when lights went out ahead of Stefano Manzi, Alberto Sola dropping behind Luca Maias heading into turn 5. Although Maias' race would come to an end, he was hit by Caricasulo, thankfully everyone avoiding him, and dropped to the back of the field, although he did mount a comeback to score points. Sola then moved ahead of Manzi into a brief P2 before he high-sided out of the race at turn 3. A disappointing end to what had been a strong debut for the Italian star. That left Oncu with a more than 3-second gap to Manzi behind, and it looked like the number 62 would come under pressure from Jeremy Alcoba and Valentin Debise for P2, although he was able to break away from the duo as they scrapped over P3. Valentin Debise getting ahead of the sole Kawasaki rider in the field at turn 5. As the laps counted down, the gap between Oncu and Manzi was remaining relatively stable, around 3 seconds, in fact up to 3.3 with 10 laps to go. Debise's race came to an end at turn 3 from the podium places. He crashed out to end his hopes of a podium, promoting Jeremy Alcoba briefly into P3, but Tom Booth-Amos wanted a rostrum. He barged his way through on the Spanish rider at turn 13 to move into P3. Home hero Corentin Perolari was having a strong weekend. He was looking for another good result to take home with him, running in the top 5 and putting all sorts of pressure on Alcoba out in front. With just a couple of laps remaining, Manzi was closing the gap big time to Oncu. 4 attempts on lap 15, 3 attempts on lap 16 and 7 attempts on lap 17. Suddenly there was nothing between them. The Italian rider lining up Oncu for a move into the Imola chicane, getting up the inside and into P1 with just a few corners to go. Oncu had no response to Manzi as the Italian extended his championship lead by another 5 points in France, coming home to take another double victory in the 2025 season for Yamaha, and his win helping to secure Yamaha's 11th Manufacturers' Championship in World Supersport, now the most successful brand in the championship, overtaking Honda, who had 10. But the celebrations all belong to Manzi. 2 unlikely victories at Magny-Cours over the course of the weekend, strengthening his grip on the championship. He leaves the French round 69 points clear of his rival. A half-a-second gap between Manzi and Oncu doesn't really tell the story of race 2. Booth-Amos coming home 9 seconds behind the race winner, with Alcoba just missing out on the first podium in World Supersport. Corentin Perolari was only just behind the Spanish rider as well. Nicky Tunney was 12th, 4 more points for QJ Motor as he improves on their best result scored by Raffaele De Rosa in race 1. Several retirements from an attritional race 2, with Federico Caricasulo, who was also penalised for the clash with Manzi, one of several retirements. It could be the championship decided at Aragon. Manzi leads Oncu 69 points heading into round 10 of the season. Tom Booth-Amos is in 3rd, with Jaume Massier 4th and Bo Benschneider 5th. Jeremy Alcoba and Philip Ertel both moving up the order. Oddy Baelish jumps ahead of the absent Audi Mahindra into 11th. Corentin Perolari, Simon Jespersen and Filippo Farioli also on the move, demoting Xavi Cardulis down to 16th. Nicky Tunney jumps up after his 4-point haul in race 2.
I'm feeling on the moon because this one I think was one of my best races in Supersport, because the start was good, I was already in front, but Surra crashed before the main straight, so the bike and him was in the middle. I have to brake to not going on him, and I lose 3 seconds to Chan, and the group on the back overtake me in the straight. So at some point I was thinking today was just P2 for me, but like normally I never give up, so I do also today to not never give up. And yeah, in the end I was closing quite a big gap in the last few laps, and I was able to overtake him just in the last sector, so I was quite happy about it.